Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the GameCast Newscast. I'm Snowy, otherwise known as Count Fracula. Joining me, as always, is my co-host, Max.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, hello. Last week we didn't do it.
We're trash.
I mean, you were busy, so you know.
Yeah.
You had real life things to do.
Still game related though, so that's fun, I guess.
Well, I mean, one of them was.
Oh, yes, one of them was. Yeah.
The other thing, not so much. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, Max, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I have been prepping for E3 by finishing up all of the games for the people that I'm going to be seeing there, so that I could tell them, yeah, I finished your game and reviewed it. Because that's pretty important if I want to keep a relationship with them. Understandable, right?
Yes.
So I've been playing a lot of State of Decay 2. I just got that review out today for embargo, which was hell to do, but not for a lack of a fun game or anything like that. It was actually a pretty fun game. I've been enjoying it a lot. There are a lot of issues with it. It's nowhere close to perfect. It's incredibly
it seems
buggy.
Like your opinion is very much in the minority.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
From what I'm hearing, you have a more positive opinion than most other people.
To be fair, I need to look at other people's reviews. I've only watched one other today, and me and him were pretty in line. You know, ACG, that video reviewer. I loved him. Me and him are
Polygon gave it a very mediocre review. So did Eurogamer. Both said, well, State of Decay 2 made me sad, but mostly bored. And Eurogamer said, a soggy open world loot 'em up with catastrophic bugs.
Wow. Okay. No catastrophic bugs, in my experience. I have 30 hours with the game.
Okay.
I beat it a time and a half. And 2, I don't know how you could be bored in that game. That game is nothing but intense a lot of the time. Hell, I even have a short 5-minute gameplay video up with no commentary or anything. And in my opinion, a lot of that was looked intense in and of itself. The point of State of Decay 2, actually, I missed the point for the first 10 hours. And I was originally going to be a lot more negative on the game. Well, not it's hard because, and actually I was really nice that ACG kind of echoed this sentiment. The game changed, the first 5 hours of the game, or in my case, I guess it was more the first 2, are very different than the rest. Setting up in that game is hard. Establishing your base and getting in a steady stream of resources and stuff like that, it's hard. It's difficult. The beginning of the game is pretty fucking stressful, and honestly, I could see that turning a lot of people off, and I was kind of annoyed by it, to be honest with you. But honestly, as you keep playing through the game and you get more into it, you'll generally get to a pretty steady point. Probably 5 or 6 hours in, I was at a steady point where I didn't need to be strenuously gathering resources and always needing to be doing something here and then. But you have to realize what every single system in State of Decay 2 kind of feeds into is making it very, very difficult to survive. It's called State of Decay for a reason. You're not supposed to be able to just win and just be able to just kill all the zombies and build up your base and survive and all that shit. People are going to die during this. You're going to be doing really, really well, and then in 5 minutes have 3 people die, your base get raided and stuff like that, things broken. That's supposed to happen in a way. And none of it, I will say, that could make it sound like it would be cheap. I don't think any of it felt cheap in any way, shape, or form. These are all based on decisions that you make earlier in the game, and you wouldn't realize would come back to haunt you later on, exiling a certain survivor or picking one survivor over another who doesn't have a particular skill set. If you're not paying attention to your survivors and their skill sets, and if they don't work with one another, if you have a bunch of people that can use computers and use guns, great, but you don't have anyone who's a nutritionist, or you don't have anyone who knows how to run electricity and stuff like that. You need to keep track of so many things, and I think that's really cool. A lot of that's intentional, and if you're not doing that, you're gonna get fucked over, which is what happened to me originally. Until I realized I need to start paying attention to this stuff, I had a great fucking base by the end. I was doing really well. My base was pretty self-sustaining. Of course, you still have to defend things. You still have to always be going out and gathering resources and stuff. But once I accepted that, things are going to happen and you have to, try and plan for them, Like, that's why I think it's probably the most realistic quote-unquote zombie simulator out there. It's the only one I've ever played that actually makes you think. It's like the Walking Dead show back when it was good. Like, humans are kind of like the enemies in that show too, and like they're never like set. They're always having to like restructure and like do and like change and move around and stuff, as one would probably have to do in a zombie apocalypse. And that's what State of Decay 2 does as well. You're not supposed to have like this invincible base. You're not supposed to be able to take over the entire town and just rid it of zombies and everything. That is not the point. And I think that that was missed by a lot of people, which is really sad, because that is something that the game accomplishes incredibly well, and I think it's very unique in that. Then again, there are a metric fuck ton of bugs. Again, none of them game-breaking. A lot of them were pretty funny, to be honest with you. Like, zombies literally fall out of the sky all the time, like, at a regular basis, to the point where I got used to it. Doors would, like, look like they're open and they're not, so, like, you just run through them, and they just wouldn't let you run through, so that was weird. Sometimes quest rewards just wouldn't show up, which was pretty annoying. I mean, you'll get past that, but, like, if you're spending time doing a quest, you're getting some pretty decent resources, and if you don't get those, that's frustrating. Excuse me. But, again, I did not have one game-breaking bug in any way, shape, or form. I had the most severe bug I experienced was, actually a UI crash. It was when, I don't know if I just got lucky, but I only had 2 survivors die. One at the very beginning and one where we got so ridiculously overwhelmed that it wasn't even funny, and I didn't plan appropriately for it because I figured it'd be a quick mission and it wasn't. So it was my fault. And it was actually really cool and intense that it even happened, because it was my best survivor too. It was a survivor I'd been working on since the beginning of the game. She was killed in like seconds because I didn't plan for like a whole horde to attack us. She got fucked. Right when she died, my UI just disappeared. The entire UI just disappeared, which was really weird. And that sucked because I found out when because I had to close the game and reopen it to get the UI back. The character I was playing as, my second strongest character, by the way, was also just about dead. So I could have lost my 2 greatest characters in like a small like hit and run mission in like 5 minutes. And it would have been, again, entirely my fault. But yeah, I would have died like if I didn't rush out of there, but I wasn't able to see my health. So that really sucked because I was going to try and stay fighting, but then because I couldn't see my health or literally anything, I couldn't even find my way back home to my base because I couldn't see my map. And the pause screen wasn't even working and everything. So that sucked. So I just closed it and reopened it and it was fixed. But that was the closest I've come to anything even remotely considered game breaking. And honestly, a lot of bugs were fixed. I think the patch was Wednesday, which is kind of frustrating, I'd say. Or maybe the patch was Tuesday for a reviewer because the embargo was Thursday. So they'll probably have their review done by Wednesday. They're not going to go in and like change stuff. So it's also possible a lot of people didn't even get to experience that patch. And the game was a lot buggier beforehand. So that's actually understandable. But again, I didn't have anything like that. Like anything that ruined it. And I played for a long time. It was just a lot of jankiness as well. But again, there are a lot of really, really cool systems there. I think the project's pretty ambitious for the small team and for the budget it seems they were allotted. And I think that it does a lot of good, even though there's a lot of bad to represent that as well. I think what it sets out to do, it does very well. And it should be recognized for that.
Fair enough. Anything else then, or is that all you've been playing?
Mostly that. I've been grinding in God of War here and there. Yes, grinding in God of War, that is a thing. Because I don't want to beat the story. I'm right at the end, but I don't want to beat the story. I'm at the point of no return. So I want to like do all the side content that I can before beating it, just because that's how I play games a lot. I might just get bored and beat the story anyways before finishing all side content. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, no, I'm pretty sure that's been it.
Fair enough. What have I been playing this week?
Stardew Valley.
Yes, I was playing Stardew Valley. For some reason, Steam still thinks that I am. Or does it? I don't know. Oh no,
it does that a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, it's slightly... At the moment, Steam is slightly unstable. I don't know. It might just be my machine.
Steam is kind of unstable a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been
How about
playing
that client update we were supposed to get a year ago?
The what update?
Sorry to interrupt. The client update we were supposed to get a fucking year ago.
I had a client update today, if that helps.
No, like a whole overhaul. Hold on,
Oh,
my
right,
dog's
yeah, no,
barking at
that's
something.
probably not going to happen. Anyway, yes, Stardew Valley. I have been playing that, or I am playing that currently.
Fantastic choice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any particular reason why I'm playing it. I just fancy it. Something relaxing for a change.
Right.
I mean, it's, it's still as good as it ever was. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still not very far in it, but,
Relatable.
Yeah.
40 hours in and I feel like I've done nothing.
Yeah. I think I'm about the same. Other than that, I have been playing a game that I bought the other day. I got it from Early Access. It's called Trailmakers.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting, actually. It's very enjoyable. And
Like, it reminds me of Oregon Trail. Do you make Oregon Trails?
No. Do you know the game Besiege? I
do.
did a creative corner on it, yeah.
Yes, I do know that game. That game is fantastic.
It is. It's basically that, but formatted differently. So instead of building like siege machines, that you're building vehicles, but it's very like a very similar layout in how it's like built, and you can make some real cool shit with it. They've just added an update so that you can do so you can build boats, and it's real fun. Yeah, it's really difficult actually to actually build sensible things. So I downloaded someone made a jet, like a proper sort of stealth, like really maneuverable jet. So I downloaded it on Steam Workshop, and I'm like, yeah, that works well. It's a shame the one that I made was utter shite. It really wasn't any good at all. I was just like, oh, well, okay then. So there's that. I think that's about all I've been playing this week, actually. But yeah, that game's in early access. It's definitely interesting. How much did it cost me? It cost me, I think it was like £12. No, £15. Sorry. I'm having fun with it. If you're very like cautious about early access games, maybe leave it for now. But otherwise, it's a pretty fun little game, and I'm enjoying it very much.
Right.
Other than
Sounds
that,
like your type of game.
Yeah, it's definitely my type of game. I've been playing a bit of City Skylines as well, just
Yes.
because just getting a city in profit, and I might do some more for Creative Corner soon. So yeah, I think that's about it really. That's all I've been playing this week. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. And with that, let us move on to the first story of the show. Lawbreakers didn't do very well, did it?
No.
No.
I don't think that's a surprise to anyone.
No, it's definitely not. Yeah, it didn't do very well at all. I mean, as you say, I'm not surprised in the slightest, but it is a shame. And then the studio who made Lawbreakers came out with another game very recently called Radical Heights. And that was...
Wait a second. You can't just say the studio that made the game. Cliffy fucking B's studio, son. You cannot mention his studio without mentioning this man's name. What do you think this is?
Fine. Cliff Blazinski! Yeah, his studio, Boss Key, made a Battle Royale game called Radical Heights, and by all accounts, it was not very good. It was a thing that existed, and that's about all that could be said on the matter. Am I right?
Yeah, actually, The founder over at TechRaptor, he's huge into Battle Royale games. He loved it. He said it had some interesting ideas. Obviously, it was still in very early access, but other than that, I don't think I heard really much positive about the game, to say the least. But
I don't remember hearing a lot of positive things about it.
Yeah, I didn't get any hands-on. I'm sure it was fine. I just think that it was too little too late.
I think from what I remember, people was just saying it was like really rushed out the door, and considering that Boss Key have now announced their closure, I think we can say quite with some confidence as why it got rushed out the door, because otherwise, it was. I think this was their last ditch effort to get something. Oh, thank you, dear. I have food now.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, because I forgot about dinner, so I didn't realize.
I feel that.
Yeah, and like you messaged me, and we were just sort of starting to make it, and I was just like, oh yeah, shit.
I should eat.
Yeah,
that's funny.
So, anyway.
Yeah, I know in Cliffy B's statement, the studio is closing down, and it kind of, like, no one was surprised by it, of course.
No.
But it was also a kind of, it was kind of just came out of nowhere. Like, I remember seeing this tweet. Actually, the tweet that I saw that was, like, my first time even seeing the studios closing was, someone was calling Cliffy B out for not telling his employees earlier, I guess, because apparently the tweet was 2 images, and the first image was a Radical Heights developer responding to someone asking a question about their game on Twitter, and then 2 hours later was the closure. So the guy was like, oh my god, you didn't even tell your guys, like 2 hours ago they thought they had jobs and everything. I'm going to assume it's a lot more complex than that. But it was still I don't think Cliffy B just decided to not tell any of his employees they're not going to the job. I really doubt that was the case. But the point is with that is that it was very sudden. Like the actual moment of it was very sudden. I don't think anyone there expected the studio to be going for a whole lot longer, to be fair. But yeah, it was really just kind of out of the blue. It sucks, but at the same time, no one was surprised because it's just 2 games. Lawbreakers was a decent idea. It was in an oversaturated genre, and same with Radical Heights. These are 2 games that came a little bit after, like, the established games in the genre have already been out for a bit. People had already settled. And there's already, like, for example, for Battle Royale, there's like kind of, in a way, 3 games, but really 2 big games, like, kind of fighting for relevancy. It's really Fortnite and PUBG, and then there's the H1Z1 game mode, and then there's a few others. GTA, I know, has one and stuff like that. So it's just, there wasn't really a space for another game like that. And same with Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers, at the end of the day, I think it could have been marketed better. In terms of, like, showing off what was unique about it, because I remember watching some gameplay about it when it was, like, coming out, and I remember he promoted it hugely. It was like at PAX or E3, Cliffy B had a massive booth for it and everything, but the issue was none of that promotion really showed what made the game unique, because there were some unique, like, modifiers on the team-based strategy game. Like, I know that you could, like, you were incredibly versatile. Like, versatility was, like, the name of the game there, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you could fly around and do all this wall running and everything, and it was kind of like Titanfall in a lot of ways like that, but a lot more team-based shooter than just, like, another shooter like Titanfall is, even though Titanfall is great. But, like, more in the vein of Overwatch, I guess, is a better way of putting it. But none of that was ever really marketed very well. So to everyone else, it just looked very generic. And to be fair, the art style was fairly generic. So, yeah, there could have been a lot different done, but at the end of the day, a bunch of people are losing their jobs, which sucks. But I know that when the studio closure was announced, there was a bunch of hashtags, or, like, there was the hashtag, like, Lawbreakers team or something, that a bunch of people were tweeting out, like, job opportunities for the developers and everything. So hopefully a lot of them, if not all of them, find new jobs relatively quickly.
Yeah, hopefully. That would be nice, at least. So yeah, I mean, are you surprised? I'm not. I don't think either of us then are surprised that Boss Cube shut down.
No, I don't think that anyone in the world thinks that. To be honest, as sad
some
as it is.
some people seem to be almost some people are almost as surprised as when all the good TV shows got cancelled the other day.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like two games that are commercially not great in a row, kind of like it's a bit writing on the wall kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and honestly, it was worse than not great. Lawbreakers did terribly.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't review terribly, but I'm pretty sure the player base never got over, like, a couple thousand, and that was at launch day?
Yeah.
Or something like that. It was, like, maybe it was even smaller than that. Yeah, and, like, 2 weeks in, it was, like, 70 players total, and then it was just, like, at a point 12. It was just, like, yeah.
Yay! Yeah, they done messed up with that.
Yes, they did. Big shame, but that is...
Oh yeah, it's definitely a shame, but, you know, again, it's not unexpected from what was happening around everything.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's a shame. I do feel sorry for Blazinski and everyone that was there, because, you know, it's a shit thing to happen. But
I think it's interesting, too, because, I know that originally Lawbreakers was going to be free to play and they were working with Nexon and everything, even though I don't really like what Nexon's turned into. When I was a kid, I used to play their games all the time, like all their free to play games. But I don't know. It's just, I think Lawbreakers would have been much better off if that was the case, to be fair. If they had stuck with Nexon and done free to play and everything, maybe the studio would still even be around today. But that's all speculation. We would never know for sure.
No, exactly. So, you know, what can you do?
Exactly.
Right.
Klondike Bar.
So, yeah, Bosky's shutting down. We know why. They only managed to get 2 games out the door. Both of them weren't received very well. So,
nope.
Yeah. Oh well. Live and learn.
Yes,
yeah. It sucks, poor Cliff and everything, but, you know, we deal with this shit all the time. So let's move on to the next story. He says as he's finishing his day in Stardew Valley.
Righto.
Rajo.
Ha.
Ha ha. So, yeah, Rage 2. You must know that that's coming out by now, person watching this, because you're watching this, so, you know, it's like kind of the biggest news of the week, really, isn't it?
One of, yeah, I'd say so.
However, I'd say we have not contradicting opinions, but you certainly have a less excited opinion of it than me.
I shouldn't say I'm not excited, because I love Rage 1. To be honest with you, I really like Rage 1 a lot. And from what it seems like, everyone suddenly loves it, which is kind of funny to see after the announcement of Rage 2. I shouldn't say I'm not excited. I just wish we could have seen more. I maybe expected a bit too much, but that first trailer just looks a little like just too generic in my opinion. Though then, once I heard that Avalanche is working with id and everything, I love the Just Cause games, and obviously id speaks for itself. I have a lot of high hopes for this game. Like, I think it's going to be very cool, and the enthusiasm around it is really cool, and more than I expected it to be fair, because we know Rage 2 was rumored. I've been waiting for a Rage 2 announcement since last E3. I was ready to bet money on it from last E3, but that obviously didn't happen. So it's nice that this is finally here, and it's in capable hands, and I love the Andrew WK they're fucking going with. These promotional trailers. That's absolutely hilarious. But
that's a good choice.
yeah, it really is. I saw a tweet talking about this that I thought described things really well. The guy was saying he thinks the issue with a lot of post-apocalyptic games like this are that they kind of try and emulate Mad Max, but they don't really nail or even go for the insanity, which is what makes Mad Max Mad Max. They just kind of go for the world without that really important piece. And Rage seems to be really trying to do that. Kind of like how State of Decay 2 is the only zombie survival game, in my opinion, that actually focuses on survival. This seems to be one of the only apocalypse games that's actually focusing on that kind of insanity, that madness and everything. And it seems to be doing that really well, which I absolutely can't wait for.
Yeah.
Assuming that everything goes well. Didn't they say we'll see more at E3? I'm sure we'll see gameplay.
Yeah, they did, yeah. And I'd be very surprised if we didn't at this point. But... since you brought up Mad Max, one of the co-developers, Avalanche, worked on the Mad Max game from a couple of years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that too. There you go.
Yeah, it's Avalanche. They did the Just Cause series, and they did Mad Max from a few years ago.
I forgot they did Mad Max as well, because I love Just Cause.
Just Cause series is pretty great. I think as performance issues aside, 3 is the best one.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, 3's pretty damn good.
Because 3 just capitalized on everything we wanted from 2.
I think I'm pretty excited for this, considering how good the car combat was in Mad Max.
The first Rage.
Because that was in Mad Max, because that was like the big selling point.
Right.
Was the car
I actually
combat.
have it now. I haven't played it yet, though.
You need to play it.
I heard it's
pretty
good.
damn good.
I actually meant to around release, because Mad Max is one of my favorite movies. I love that movie so much. Even the old ones I really like. But yeah, I meant to, and I heard that the game was like way better than it had any right to be.
Pretty much. That's a pretty good summation of it.
And I have it on PS Plus now. Actually, it was when I got my PS4. It was the first month, so I could play it. Right, I could go fucking play it right now. But
I mean, don't, because we're busy. But
yeah, exactly. I'm not going to, but I think it's cool, and I've been meaning to, because I think a studio like Avalanche is one of those studios that just needs like more of a budget and more time, and they can be a really standout studio. I think they always seem like kind of one of those AA studios that like just they just can't get everything right, but they always make like a pretty unique, really cool experience.
Yeah, I'd say
so. I think if they're working with id, like that's fucking awesome. And Rage 2 very well could be like one of the best games of next year. Honestly, I know that's a pretty bold claim to make, but I don't know. I really, really, really liked the first one. I love those types of games. Even for all its shortcomings, I was a huge fan of the first one. And I don't know, I'm tired of Borderlands. I don't really care about Borderlands 3. Also, in funny news, like 2 hours after the fucking trailer, what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago now? It was announced that Borderlands 3 won't be at E3 anymore. They're like delaying it. Like the reveal announcement.
Even though we know it's happening.
Yeah.
Real good.
One can't help but think that it's because of Rage.
Probably, yeah.
Which is really funny in my opinion, but
yeah, but like they had a gameplay trailer for this come out, and yeah, looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it's hectic as fuck.
It looks hectic as fuck, and they've fucking nailed the sort of punk aesthetic of it.
Yes,
like they've got it down to a T. It looks amazing.
They're also just like spitting at everyone's faces who were calling it like the first one like brown and gray and stuff. With, like,
because this is colourful as hell. There's so much colour in the trailer. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what attracted me to it. I was just like, oh my god, that's really colourful and amazing. And they have a circular saw weapon, like you throw a sort of thing that spins and hits people.
Yeah, that was in the first one. That was like the fucking selling. That was like, that like kind of like boomerang thing. That was like, that was one of the big combat features. That thing is awesome. It's smart. Okay. It's like a smart device. If I remember correctly, because I thought, I was remembering the game, and I was like, oh yeah, that game only came out a few years ago. Game came out in fucking 2011.
Was it 2011? All right, I thought it was earlier than that, but yeah.
No, I thought it was like 2013 or something at the fucking earliest, but no, it was 2011 if I'm not mistaken. I remember looking like, holy shit, it's been that long. But
you're feeling old.
Yeah. But the game, like, also just for how much I remember it, for such like a insignificant game in the grand scheme of things, For how much I remember that game compared to how much I remember a lot of games from back then, like when I played them at first, it feels a lot closer than that.
Yeah.
But it's just something that I've wanted for so long, like a Rage 2, because I always felt like that franchise was super underrated, or that, I guess, game, not really a franchise, but
yeah,
that game was super underrated and everything. So it's really, really cool that it's happening. And again, it's really cool that everyone's on board and they seem to know like everything that was wrong with it. It's one of those games that definitely deserved another chance. And that I'd still say is the first one is definitely worth playing, especially now that you obviously won't have to pay full price for it.
Yeah.
That game is cool, dude.
I have installed
the story
it again because
sucks.
I just felt like because I saw the trailer for number 2, I was like, I'm gonna play number 1 again, see what that's like.
There you go. I'm pretty sure it's $10 right now, full price on Steam. Anyway.
Oh, nice! I think I got
10,
it like years ago. I got it in when it was a disc, and you got the disc, and it had the Steam code and some install files on it.
Oh god, the good old days.
Yeah.
Kind of, I guess, the half good old days.
Well, the old days.
Yeah. But, no, yeah, I'd say the first one's totally worth playing through, just for the combat and everything alone. Again, the story is, like, almost non-existent. It's terrible, but everything else is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's still gorgeous. It's still got a very unique feel, especially compared to, like, other post-apocalyptic games. Like, it doesn't really feel like anything else that I've played in a long time. The tone is still there. Like, the tone that's in the trailer, that's still there a lot in the first game, which is really cool. And then...
Do you think it's just, like, the aesthetic that's slightly off?
I don't even think it's the aesthetic that's off. The aesthetic is fucking dope.
Well,
in
yeah,
my
but...
opinion.
Eh.
I think that, I think, again, it's the plot. I think that it's pretty short. Especially like it literally it just feels like it was like kind of cut in half.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like there should have been a lot more, and I think there was supposed to be. I think there were a lot of issues there. And then I was gonna say it felt like some game from like gens ago. What was it? Trash. It was a good comparison. I lost it. It was from, like, the PS2 gen. But anyways, it reminded me a lot of some game from back then that people really like, and I like as well, and I think that's really cool.
Can't like it that much if you can't remember it.
Yeah, I guess not.
So, yeah.
Jack series. Jack, like, 2 and 3 and shit. Not really the first game. But,
do you mean...
they were, like,
yeah, I think
like Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
I love those games. But, like, especially Jak 3, like, that kind of apocalyptic, but, like, it still had kind of a lighthearted tone. And
yeah.
I don't know, it just, you know how Jak has a super unique feel even to this day, in my opinion? I think that it's kind of like that. It establishes something similar to that, which is really cool in my opinion. I love the Jak series. So, yeah.
There we go. So, yeah. Rage 2 is coming out 2019, no specific date. It's a lot closer than it actually sounds. 2019 is not that far away.
Yeah, seriously, we're already almost in fucking June of this year. What the hell is that?
I know. I just can't even... I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I've sort of accepted it at this point. We're just growing old.
Grudgingly accepted it, and it's gone, oh, fine.
Yeah, I'm just not even going to pay attention to dates or anything anymore.
Yeah.
So, because life just goes by super quickly.
Well,
live in the moment, Snowy.
Oh, I was going to make a joke about the life goes by so slowly, time goes by. And I can't remember the name of the person who did the song, so... Fuck my joke. I don't even know. I don't know who did that. I genuinely can't remember. Can you remember?
Nope.
Oh. Oh well, let's move on to the next story.
As you can see, Snowy and I are just on point today.
Yeah, we're just completely focused and everything today. Oh dear.
I wouldn't say we're not focused.
Are you sure?
I think we've been having good discussion.
So, good news for disabled gamers. Very good news, actually. I'm quite happy with this. But you're quite happy with it as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I'd say anyone who isn't I don't know what
is
they're
heartless.
on about. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be completely honest with you.
I agree. Yeah. The Xbox, or Microsoft Xbox, have announced a new controller. Have they given it a name? Oh, the Xbox Adaptive Controller. That's what they're calling
Is that
it
what
for
it's
now.
called?
Yeah. That's at least the name at the moment.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was leaked
To
early.
be fair, it
I
might
don't
change
think that they
because
were
the
ready to
Xbox
reveal
One
it.
X was like Project Scorpio for a year and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a shame they didn't go with the Xbox Scorpio because that's better than Xbox One X.
So much better.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's not even funny.
Yeah. I don't understand that. Xbox One X. Real
Guess
dumb.
what? The acronym is Xbox.
Yeah. Doesn't make it any better though, does it?
No.
No. Not in the fucking slightest. Yeah. To be honest, it just depresses me thinking about that.
Yeah.
I can't even stand
But hey,
the thought
Microsoft
of
is
that.
doing good in a lot of things. A lot of other things.
Are they?
Like the accessibility pad.
Oh, yeah. This thing. To be honest, this isn't just a good thing for disabled gamers because this could be used to make up all sorts of really fun, interesting new controller setups. Do you not agree?
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the reason it's so good for disabled gamers is because it's like entirely customizable. So yeah, I can totally see like Dark Souls runs and shit out of this thing. With like specific combinations and stuff.
Definitely. It's like
Yeah,
you can
like
only
I
use...
guarantee you we're gonna see that.
Definitely.
And I guarantee you we're gonna get. You might have to cut this, but I guarantee you we're gonna get people offended by that as well. This is for disabled gamers, and you're just making fun out of it.
I don't think so. I think it's usually
You
the
don't
other way
think so?
around. It's like, they're making things for disabled people. They're making things accessible. We don't want games to be accessible. Only for the hardcore people.
Yeah, shoot me.
Yeah, that sounds about right. No, that's just bullshit. I hate people who say that because that's just the worst
Yeah,
thing.
me too. And it makes me look bad because I absolutely adore the Souls series, and I can't even
There's
fucking
nothing-
talk about it in my work because I look like one of those people.
There's
That's the
nothing
thing.
wrong
I
with
understand.
liking Dark Souls. There is something wrong with not wanting other people to play Dark Souls because they want to play it on an easy mode or something. That's
That
where I
makes no
kind of
sense
lose
to
the
me.
logic of people. It's like you don't want other people to enjoy this experience that you enjoy. Okay,
Yeah, that's stupid.
gonna try and figure that
Makes me
out.
feel like they don't even actually enjoy it.
They can't. No way that they enjoy it
Yeah.
if they're doing that. It's
I
the
just
most
don't get it.
stupid thing. I really dislike it.
Yeah, me too. But whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. So anyway, let us just so let's talk about this a little bit then. It's a big ass controller. It's very large from the seams of it because you can you've got a little
Yes.
bit of scale because there's a USB port on the side of it. It's huge. It's probably a good it's probably keyboard size by the look of it.
Yeah, I could see that. Especially with
It's-
all of the ports it has to support and everything like that.
Yeah. So it's
without
about
question.
keyboard size with two big fuck off buttons. I'm sure I've put it on the screen for you to see. So that's like the base unit of the controller. And then on the back of it, there are about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22 3.5mm jacks, which can have things plugged into them to act as the inputs for the buttons that are mapped to it. And also those buttons can be remapped, am I right?
Yes, everything on this controller can be remapped.
Yeah. So
Except for probably the start button. But
yeah.
yeah.
So what this represents is basically almost literally anyone, unless they have no arms and legs, can now play a video game.
Yep.
Because
well, it's also important to note that there's this pad, but there are a ridiculous amount of attachments that you can like plug and play into it as well.
yeah,
Like there are extra
there's
buttons,
joysticks,
that you can plug
buttons.
in.
Yeah, that's what those ports at the back are
even
for.
like a
Is for
nunchuck
just
thing.
anything that you can think of,
But-
and it's mad. And while it looks really weird, I like it.
It's a cool aesthetic. I really think it looks modern and it looks sleek. It looks like something I would just want. Like in my like setup, honestly. I really like how it looks overall. I think it's a really unique and cool looking piece of hardware.
Definitely. But yeah, if this means disabled people can get into gaming, fucking great.
You sure? You sure? You want more people enjoying your hobby that you love?
Yes.
Is this a trap? No, yeah, I definitely agree. And people who don't think so. The only reason I'm saying that is because there is kind of a larger than there should be like outcry against this, and I really don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, people can
Really? Wait,
fuck
really?
off.
To which one?
People need to fuck off and die in a hole. That's fucking stupid. How dare you enjoy this thing? What?
I don't know. I saw some of the comments like on Twitter and everything, because I believe Verge is the one that leaked this story. Or not like leaked it, but they were the first story to post about the leak, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So I saw a lot of tweet responses to that. This was before any even gaming publications had written about it yet. And people are like, oh, this is what they're doing instead of giving us games and shit like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure the team that is working on games were taken away from so that this could be worked on. I'm sure that this affected your game development so much.
Oh, definitely,
fucking idiots. Like, do you not know how this works? Do you think everyone at fucking Microsoft is just working on games? Like, what? First of all. And then second of all, fuck you. Like,
yeah. What
this
kind
is
of
a really
arsehole
cool
do you
thing.
have to be to think, oh yeah, other people don't deserve to enjoy games because they're disabled, or even like they don't have the presence of mind to think, this could create loads of interesting challenges for games.
That too. This is like as like
I don't
this
see
could
the
open it up
downside
to more than
this
just
at
like
all.
even yeah, no, seriously. And like we said earlier, like this could even open it up to like cool challenges for like people like Dark Souls and stuff like that, like different runs, like how people do that with like a Guitar Hero controller and shit.
Yeah,
like just trying to challenge themselves as much as they can.
Yeah, like having to
really
do it
cool
with
idea.
the A button being used by like some sort of weird
The
fucking
joystick or some
joystick.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's really interesting. Like this opens up so many possibilities. And I believe I was talking about this to Snowy before we started recording, but Microsoft does a lot of interesting things like this that I don't think it gets appreciated enough for, which is really frustrating in my opinion. Because another really cool feature about this accessibility pad is that it works with their, I believe it's called Remote Play. It might be called something different. It's probably called something different, but it's the feature that allows you to basically play one game with two controllers. Like, for example, if Snowy could only use like his left hand, and he was like over, we could play like God of War on the Xbox together. With
on the Xbox,
he'd be able to use
God of War
because.
The PlayStation 4 exclusive God of War.
It's just an easy example. Imagine
no, it's
God
not.
of War.
It's an incorrect example.
Fuck off. Okay, fine. We'll be playing State of Decay 2 on the Xbox, and if Snowy could only use his left hand. Yeah. Fuck off. He'd be able to use the left side of his controller, and then I'd also have a controller, like literally a second controller, and I'd be able to use the whole controller, but obviously I'd only be focusing on the right side, and we'd be able to play the game together. It would still be like we'd be controlling the same person, but we'd be able to play the game together. Like, he'd be able to play the game that he wouldn't be able to otherwise play, and we'd be able to play it together. Like, that's so cool, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very, very interesting feature. And that also works with this as well. So maybe, like, that works with one person, too. Like, if a disabled gamer is literally just missing one arm, or, like some finger, not one arm, I shouldn't say, but, like, fingers or something,
Yeah.
They could set up one side of the controller on the accessibility pad, and then they could just use the normal controller with their other hand, and that would work great for them. Honestly, you'd probably be able to play competitively even at that way. You'd be able to become really adept.
Oh yeah,
at that.
definitely.
Like, that's so fucking cool. That's absolutely insane. This is like future tech right here.
Oh, definitely.
In a way.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think it's like a really sort of interesting thing, and I like how sleek the design is as well, considering what they're trying to make. Like, they've done a really nice job of making it look nice as well.
This could have been so convoluted.
Oh yeah, it could have been just like, hey, look at the thing that we've made, and it's really clunky and looks terrible. But no, they've done
like Switch voice chat.
Oh yeah.
Joking, though.
The online of that's come out. We've done a pocket edition on it this week. Sully, me.
Was that
and
what you guys were doing
Chochi.
yesterday?
Yeah. So that's all good. All good.
But no, yeah, you're 100% right. Everything about this thing is just really cool. I don't really have anything negative to say about this at all.
No, and I think anyone who does have anything negative to say is being a massive curmudgeon.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm gonna start using curmudgeon on a regular basis.
Do you not use that word very often?
That's a great word. I don't think that's an American used word. To be completely honest with you, I'm pretty sure that's a British word. But,
Bloody typical.
I've heard it before, but like, it's a fantastic word.
Bloody Yanks not using the right words. Right,
I fucking know it.
So yeah. Anyway, if you're disabled, you'll have better luck playing some games. So hooray! And let's move on.
Fuck yeah. Join GameCast.
Yeah, why not? Get the diversity quota up a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the final story of the show.
Blackout. Ha! 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 Funny.
That's how I'm starting this show. That's how I'm starting the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Kane wrote it.
Okay, I don't know who that is. Anyway, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Kill me.
Yeah.
Can I ask? It's not got a single player. What's the point of calling it Black Ops 4?
Yeah, see, I'm pretty sure we talked about this when we first
No, because when it was first announced
or something.
When it was first announced, it the whole it not having a single player campaign was not brought out. So
well, then I know I talked about this with someone or something, because it's seriously, it's like, why is there even going to be, it was the Pocket Edition. It was the Pocket Edition with Sully.
Okay.
We talked about this. Yeah, it was like, is it even going to, if it's not going to have a campaign, then why the hell are they calling it that? Exactly. That's so stupid, right?
It's real dumb.
They might as well just made up a new name for it. That just a new subtitle at this point, or maybe even just like
Call of Duty
Black Ops.
Call of Duty, we want more money. Call of Duty cashing in on a trend.
Or hell, Call of Duty Battle Royale.
Yes.
Honestly.
Speaking of Battle Royale, it's going to have a Battle Royale mode. Because of course it is. Why would it not? Everything needs a Battle Royale mode nowadays. Literally everything. Fucking
and again,
hell.
This is an absence of a single-player campaign. This isn't in addition to a single-player campaign. There's not one anymore. Which also sucks, because from what I know, I haven't played since the first Black Ops, which, by the way, I loved.
Don't a lot of people like the Black Ops storyline? Yeah,
it's cool. From what I remember. Like, it's really cool. It's well told. Even to this day, people still like the Black Ops storyline.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really sad. And it's stupid because I am totally 100%, and I think the proof is as well, against the whole single players dying thing. I really don't know where that's coming from at all, because we have nothing but fantastic single player games, and there is so much hype for all the other ones coming out. But I don't know. It's just an echo chamber. And it's an echo chamber that fucking Activision is buying into. I mean, yes, of course, multiplayer games like this do make more money in the long term. Like, of course they do, yes. And it just proves that Activision is just 100% industrialized and 100% only in this for the money. The industrialization of video games. Yes. Which absolutely sucks. I'm sure that Treyarch isn't the ones to blame here.
Well, no, because they're just doing whatever Activision tells them to do.
Exactly, which they have to. Like, I think it's pretty shitty when gamers shit on like the studio, because I'm sure there are some cases where it's part of the studio's fault, but for the most part, these are just developers trying to fucking make a living. Like, they're not gonna quit over this. Like, they have families to feed and shit, but it also sucks because it's like they went into fucking game development, I would imagine, because they love making games, and then this is what they have to do to fucking survive. So that sucks. But yeah, there's just Activision just being Activision, you know. This is also one of those rumors that's actually true.
Yeah, because like everyone was going, "Wow, that's amazing! Battle Royale mode's going to be in everything. It's going to be great." And then it turns out it
actually was in everything.
It actually is in everything, and now everyone's going, "Oh God, why?"
Yeah.
When do you think the fad's going to die out?
I don't know. It's hard to say because I know Red Dead will have one, and honestly, I think that one will be good. I'm sure it will be fine.
But why does it need it?
Rockstar. To be fair, I think a Wild West one would be pretty cool. And I do think that with the way Rockstar does their online, especially with like GTA Online, it does kind of fit it in a way. Hopefully, knowing them, they'll have like some really cool twist on it. I hope they do. Other than that, I don't see any other new games really taking off with Battle Royale. I think that we're pretty much set in stone with the games we have right now. Maybe, like, for example, something like Brawlhalla will come out, like an indie one. How, like, Brawlhalla is, like, a really interesting, kind of cool version of, like, the fighting game and everything like that.
I
like
love Brawlhalla. It's a really fun little game.
Yeah, I'm sure, and see, that's the beauty of the indie scene. I'm sure that there will be some indie studio that has some really fucking cool twist on it. We'll probably see something like that in the near future. But other than that, I think that the fad is still going to last, but in terms of successful new entries, I don't think we'll see much. I think it's mostly just going to be the games we have now.
It's going to be the cash-ins and whatever now.
Yeah. I think that we're still going to see a lot of Fortnite for a while. And to be completely fair, as annoying as it is to hear about Battle Royale all the time, I have no problem with Fortnite. I think that what Epic is doing is actually pretty cool.
Fortnite are doing it
especially
right, and they're sort of... Yeah, they're more tolerable to me than the rest of the companies.
They are, and they're having fun with it. Like, they're doing they're teasing all these updates, they're keeping everyone interested, you know, like they had the Meteor tease, and they didn't even announce it. Like, the players had to find it. You know, and then the meteor crashed and fucking altered a whole part of the map, and now they're, like, doing something else. Like, that's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a benefit of these service-based games, is that you can do stuff like that. So that's cool. PUBG isn't doing anything like that, from what I know.
PUBG so that's really cool. Anything at all. Nothing of interest is happening.
Yeah, they're making a mobile version. Well, it's out, actually, and I've heard it's pretty good, to be fair. I heard it's way better than the actual one. But then again, Fortnite did the same thing, so. But, no, yeah, I think Epic Games deserves what they're getting. And actually, I saw a video on this really recently. I didn't know this at all. Apparently, with each Battle Royale update, the Survive the Storm, the PvE mode that Wesley and I loved, is like getting twists as well and changes as well. Like, apparently the Meteor, that actually had an effect on PvE as well. I didn't know this at all. Like, that also gets changed. So people who still do play it for that, they're also still getting content, which is really cool. I didn't know that at all. If I had time, I'd still be playing it, to be honest with you.
What a strange idea, catering for your whole fan base.
Right? Imagine that. And it's really cool, too, because they're making so much money that they can do that. Like, I feel like other studios, they would have to only focus on the Battle Royale. You know, they wouldn't have the resources. But since they just kind of blend together as well, because obviously it's the same engine and, like, the same kind of style and everything.
I'll tell you who could afford to do it, though. Call of Duty. Activision.
Yeah. Oh, they 100% could. Yeah, sorry, there's just not much to talk about this. The Call of Duty Battle Royale part, so we're just kind of talking about the Battle Royale genre in general.
I think we're in the unfortunate situation of both of us not caring.
Yeah, that too. Well, to be fair, I think someone today, as of this recording on Thursday, a streamer revealed it, and from what I've been seeing on Twitter and everything, people are noping the fuck out.
That's what I've heard.
Which is fine. Just fine. I don't know. I don't really care. I'll read about it, but I don't really care to watch it. I just don't care at all.
Yeah.
I guess in this article though, that you sent me, the Forbes article on it, there's an interesting statement. He says, the map will be 1,500 times bigger than Nuketown.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't
cool
have
stat.
the scale for that. I don't know how big
Nuketown's
that is.
tiny. To be fair, Nuketown is tiny. But I don't know, 1,500 times bigger than a map.
That's pretty. That's got to be
cool.
quite large. But then at the same time, if it's been done for the Battle Royale mode, then it's got to be quite big.
It needs to be that big.
Yeah.
So, in reality's sake, that's really not that impressive, because it literally needs to be that big. But it's
Someone's
still cool.
made a
it's kind
mod
of
for GTA 5, incidentally. It's a roguelike permadeath Battle Royale, but only single player.
Interesting.
It actually does look really interesting. I watched someone play it the other day, and I was just like, huh, that looks quite fun. Because, you just get a randomly generated character.
Okay.
You can pick between 4 each round. They have special abilities, each of them. And, at the end of the round, if the character survives and you have enough points or whatever, then you can buy the character and use it again. But if not, then you have to use a different character each round.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
That's
the type of pricing model that should be in games nowadays.
There's a lot of really interesting things going on with that. It's quite fun. So yeah,
that is cool.
But anyway, yeah, that's a mod for GTA 5. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is probably going to underwhelm. And on that note, I think we'll come to the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that brings us to the end of another episode of the GameCast Newscast. I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to like, subscribe, or share to us, whatever you fancy. And our social links are down in the description. And I'd like to thank
you can join the GameCast Discord.
Yes, join the GameCast Discord and be part of our little community. But anyway, I'd like to thank Max, as always, for joining me.
Hey, of course, mate.
And other than that, I have been Snowy. That has been Max. And we will see you soon for more news-based, just random
discussion
stuff. Yeah, that. Loads of stuff. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.